The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the Voice of the People. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
The champ is here! The champ is here! The champ is here!
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the Voice of the People. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
Welcome to theboxingvoice.com. Our show will provide in-depth international coverage of the sport of boxing. You'll receive your daily boxing news and headlines, as well as pre-fight interviews on upcoming fights, along with a detailed review of every fight, the aftermath, and its results. Our audience is second to none, with callers from all over the world. Tune in once and become addicted. The difference between us and most is our continued efforts to prioritize the boxing fans, putting them first, giving them the platforms to express their angers and their celebrations when they pick the winner correctly or incorrectly. Call in and voice your opinion. Make sure you follow us on YouTube and Blog Talk Radio to receive one email whenever a show is scheduled, because we do spontaneous shows you wouldn't want to miss. Now your host, Nestor Gibbs.
What up, ladies and gents? We're back to talk the 147-pound division, the welterweight division, the king. People call him the pound-for-pound king. It is true. This is true. They do call Terence Bud Crawford the pound-for-pound king, but I don't know. I think maybe the question needs to be asked, is he running out of time? You know, one of our great callers, CYP, you know, he likes to bring up the age in which Canelo faces. Thank you, Doomy. The age in which Canelo faces his champions.
I swore I pressed the mute. That was embarrassing.
And, you know, usually 35 is a bad age, and Terence Bud is 32 right now, man. And if Errol does face Danny, by then Terence might be 33. And we're not given that fight is happening in 2021, obviously, because we're still, like, dealing with Corona and the second wave, and that is a fight that obviously these promoters are going to want to capitalize on seats and ticket sales and things of that matter. And it just keeps pushing poor Bud back further from his prime. Like, I guess most experts would consider this to be his quote-unquote prime. You know, for me, I think you can't fall out of your prime if you're not taking punishment. Like, I don't know why there's some sort of deadline or time stamp on it, but this is what we're talking about because, you know, he is 32, and, you know, in some circles, Gamboa's still the biggest name on his resume, and Mark Kriegel of ESPN kind of questioned, is he running out of time to prove his greatness? And that's what we're talking about. Let me go ahead and pull up that quote before I get out to Doomy, who you've already heard out here, you know? But, yeah, man, let me get to Doomy and I'll get to the quote, and we'll get that way. You know? So, Alexander, how are you?
I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been. There's no one can stop me. Legs to the conqueror. No, I'm Alexander. He's no Alexander. I'm the best ever. There's never been anybody. I'm Sonny Liston. I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like me. I'm from Nairclaw. There's no one that can match.
Chip! Yeah, apologize for that cough over. Thought I hit the mute button. But yeah, Ness, man. Yeah, he is considered as a pound for pound. Up there in that list for many, and you know, he's been waiting for that big one or what have you. But I guess just to send out a big congratulations to T Bud, you know, on the coming new addition to the family. I saw the IG post of late, and it looks like he's expecting a new addition to the family. So congratulations, T Bud. You know, kids are a blessing to one's life, and hope that, you know, this is a blessed one it might be the next Terence Crawford in there that'll carry on the legacy. But for now, we're gonna talk about T-Bud's legacy, man. You know, it's always being thrown around that, oh, look, who's he fought? Oh, look, what's he done? And stuff like that. But, you know, look, the guy's managed to stay undefeated and put guys away time after time. But now the young, hungry Lions are at the gate. And they want a piece of the king, of the pound for pound, touted or touted by many as the pound for pound king. And Vergil Ortiz is one of those guys. Vergil Ortiz, to me, has always been an exciting fighter since I first got a look at him. His style is ferocious, has power, and you know, he has some IQ in there. Now, is he ready for a guy like T-Bud? I don't know. You know, I just don't know. I could applaud him on his bravado and his willingness to fight, just like I applaud my paisan, Teofimo Lopez, on him, you know, stepping up and chasing greatness. So, yeah, it's just I really don't think that Vergil's quite ready there yet. What do you think?
Well, I think the question is whether Terence has run out of time, and I think that's a good question to ask. Like, Ness made a point about fighters.
Me, Mario.
Call him No Cough Gate. Yo, listen. The question is Terence Crawford running out of time? And I want to preface this with what Ness said about you know, being able to stay in your prime longer based off of the lack of you know, punishment you've taken, you know, when you started really getting like big, you know, strong fights, because that's going to take away, you know, the better competition is going to take more out of you. But then also it depends how you're living. You know what I'm saying? We've seen what Floyd Mayweather and Bernard Hopkins were able to do at their age, and why? Because they live, you know, the right life health wise. You know what I mean? They were healthy people. And so, but at the same time, is time running out? Yes, it is. There are people coming up those ranks, and they're going to catch you. You're going to get into their prime, and you're going to get into a situation where you're not in yours anymore. And that's a dangerous thing. So yeah.
I mean, if I'm Jaron Ennis, is my step up fight straight to Crawford? I don't think so.
No, of course not.
I don't think that you get to cut the line that crazy, you know, or that much. But like I said, you got to give them, I guess, some points in that aspect, that they're willing to fight and that they want that fight. But I'm looking at the, you know, and I love the thumbnail here. I'm looking at Porter as the guy, you know, as the guy that at least I know that is within that realm that he would get that fight. And I'd be interested in seeing that. I know what I'm getting at that high level with Porter. Porter's been there so many times. I know what I'm going to get from Porter at that level. I don't know what I'm going to get from Vergil and Jaron Ennis. And that's not to say that they can't, you know, rise above, but they're just not in that position in line, in my opinion. So the guy that I'm looking at right now in this thumbnail is Porter. Porter's the guy that I want to see him in there with.
Problem with Porter is, can you do Porter now? The answer to that is no, because of the pandemic. But you can do a Vergil or Ennis. If Gervonta took 75 to fight Pedraza, I'm not saying that is the right number for either of those two at all. Nowhere near, for that matter. Let's let that be clear. But they do have to come in low. It's your first title shot. You're not a champion. You're not defending, you know, and you're getting an opportunity not only at a belt, but at legacy. A lot of people in the boxing world think he's the greatest welterweight since Floyd Mayweather. So if you're Vergil and you don't get $1 million and you don't get $500,000, you do get the opportunity to make your name, you know? And I didn't want to get into this real quick until I had all the box recs pulled up to know exactly the ages, because Lomachenko's going to be facing someone, 10 years younger than him, you know? How old are these guys, and will they be when they face Bud? And how old is Bud going to be? Because that's
Bud is going to be like 36 by the time, or 34 by the time these guys see him, man. That's what I'm saying. This is like the next class, the next order of fighters that Vergil Ortiz and Jaron Ennis are in. I mean, if you tell me Vergil Ortiz versus Jaron Ennis, then yeah,
Yeah, but if you're Golden Boy and you're one promotions with Cameron Duncan, you're looking at it like, why not? We might as well just make a deal with Bob. It's short money, but if you lose to a pound for pound number one considered, who's gonna be mad at Ennis? Who's gonna be mad at Ortiz? And they got their shot. They got their shot. You know what I mean? It becomes a thing like, are they Diego Chavez? Do they look good in the loss? Do they build clout off of that? But they are cheaper than Porter. Porter just did a pay-per-view. Porter thinks he won. Porter wants a rematch. Porter's a two-time welterweight champion. Yes, Porter is the better name on his resume. Yeah. But can they afford Porter?
So the money pushes them to in this pandemic towards Vergil.
Until we get our heads out of this, and Bob is on record saying, he wants to do a fight that is like for Bud sometime in October. I think he said it again. I said it yesterday with Jerry Cooney on Jerry Cooney's show on Sirius XM.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't know if it comes against anybody that could beat him without clout. Like it's when I say he's running out of time, like what I mean is that let's look at Jamel Herring, for example, right? Jamel Herring has been fighting around a time, the last 6 years, right? Mm-hmm. He's just been his name's been in and out of the conversation in that time, right? Maybe a little shorter, but now he's having to deal with people putting his name in there with the Devin Haney's and the Ryan Garcias and, the Tanks and all that, when he's been fighting since before, Lomachenko had really made his name. He was in there with Gary Russell. Like those guys were all in a certain class together. You know what I mean? But now, because Herring has had such a hard time getting fights, it's like now he's in a situation where that class is catching up to him, and they are going to start putting his name in there. They're already doing it. And that's going to start to happen to Bud. Bud's going to be in a situation where he's going to have to take some really tough fights. And unfortunately, it looks like the only other route, because no matter what you want to say about a Josh Taylor Jose Ramirez fight, because I think that's a great fight, it still needs time. Both those guys have fights before they even fight each other. So
I think it's at least 2 years before Ramirez is ready.
You could be right.
For Crawford. 2 years before he's ready for not before he's ready for welterweight, but for Crawford at least 2 years.
All right, we got a message, guys, from Jarrett Lloyd. Says, the bum lord is out of time. The civilian beater got touched up by some green beans. That was the beginning of the decline. He been trying to cash out with the Earl fight. These butt tenders believe in fairy tales.
Damn, he's saying it's a cash out.
Nah, man. Look, let's talk about a little bit about what we think maybe Terence Crawford, what his willingness it might be to fight these guys like Vergil Ortiz and Jaron Ennis, and what that represents to him. I don't feel.
Listen, the truth is this, Doomy. No one. Well, they did give Vlad a lot of crap, but in retrospect, right? When we were saying, he's boring, the division is boring, he's fighting nobodies, we don't know who he's fighting, he still's going down as a dude who has reigned for 12 years. And he is the reason the Fury and AJ are who they are. So right now we could be crapping on Bud, right? But if he keeps beating all the crab and lobsters that are number ones, and the Jaron Ennis's and the Vergil Ortiz, who are like, touted to be. Because there's nothing wrong with him coming after Ortiz or Ennis. Floyd did it to Canelo. But just for numbers' sake, Vergil is right now 10 years younger than Crawford. And Ennis is right now 9 years younger than Crawford. So, remember, Lomachenko's fighting Teofimo, who's 10 years younger than him.
So I see. So you're saying, like, if I'm...
You're clipping.
take them now because right now they're
You clipping.
guys later on, then I'm in trouble.
Go and get them before they come and get you.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I like that.
I mean, what else
All
could
right.
you do? Especially when fighters are being the way they're being and people got their plans, you know? Look, he didn't want to move up. Then he said he wanted to move up, so we don't know if that option's still there. But why move up? Fight these young guys. You know, are there going to be people that might say, oh, he's taking guys that aren't ready? Yeah, but there's going to be hardcore fans like Intrigue who call this show who believe Jaron Ennis is due a shot. You know, there's I posted, you know what? I'm not going to talk. I'll pass the ball. I'm going to go to our social media. I posted the picture of of Ramirez. And you got a bunch of Hispanics saying, oh, Crawford never fought no one like Ramirez. This is going to be his first L. So, like, people believe in other people right now. You know, I don't know that they believe in Vergil because I never posted that Vergil Crawford side by side. Like, I've put a lot of other people. I don't think I got a Vergil side by side, but we could go to Vergil's. We could go to Dazn, who did post what we have as our thumbnail, right? And see the comments there. See what those people are saying in terms of the matchup. Because on that post, Vergil is calling out Crawford. But we all know, again, we have to tell the truth, too. He's not calling them out like, yo, I want to fight you next. You know what I mean? But but who knows if an offer comes through after Samuel Vargas, if they take it.
Did Jose Ramirez fight on HBO?
I don't know, bro. So
the reason why I'm asking is because the reason why I would say that it'd be different between him and Vergil is because the Hispanic community's been introduced to Ramirez in a longer time span, being that he was in the Olympics. Like they're just more familiar with them. Vergil's had a lot of PR dumped in a really short amount of time. You really, if you look at Vergil's body of work, it's really not that expansive.
No.
And especially when you consider him being in these kind of talks. But you look at a guy like Ramirez, he's been in that road. So that's where I could see the difference there.
But Ramirez isn't the known puncher. Ramirez isn't the one that I mean, and again, I'm not saying this as like I'm backing Vergil. No, I'm saying it's like people that are Vergil Ortiz fans are looking at it. Well, Vergil gives him more of a fight because he is a welterweight. He moved out of 140, because it was hard to make, and obviously Ramirez, he would have had to end up fighting Ramirez for the belts. So, but the point is, his body was ready. They're accepting a welterweight. So, and he's knocking people out. Like, Brad Solomon beat someone, and he knocked him out. I can't remember off top who Brad Solomon beat, but Brad Solomon was a good fighter, trained by Mike Stafford. He's in and around that Ohio and DMV, Baltimore, Philly area. So, hold on a minute.
Yeah, I think, is it fair to say that Vergil's got the body but not ready, and then with the tools, and then Ramirez is ready with the tools but doesn't have the body? Like, right? Like, it's kind of like.
I mean, yeah, I get what you're saying. Vergil Ortiz is, comes off as looks like a stronger fighter. But if you look at their body compositions, same height, and Ramirez actually has 2 inches.
Guys, I don't know if you're watching it. It should be there on your screens already, but we are screen sharing Dazon's post. It's got about 12,000 likes. Go ahead and give it one more, and we'll get through these comments. So the first one, obviously, is Dazn saying Vergil Ortiz only wants the best. A little popcorn emoji and the announcement emoji, and this guy says, great attitude. This is why Oscar likes him over Ryan. Laugh out loud, right? He's got 13 replies. We won't go into replies to slow us down. Next guy, you can't just skip levels. Fight a top 15 contender, then a top 5 contender. It's a reason for levels. So that's one considering Vergil not to be ready. And another one says, all talk. I know he wants to fight, but Oscar won't let him. He will feed him Uber drivers and feed Crawford when he's past his prime, which is what we're talking about. So, again, and this is not our page. This is DAZN. So, Vergil, the next one is Vergil is way underrated boxer who actually is down to fight for the honor more than the money, unlike someone. So if this fan is correct, who got 40 likes, Vergil should not outprice himself, which is, again, what we talked about. Vergil and Ennis being affordable, Porter not. The next one says, let that fight build up a couple more years. Again, more years. Vergil's already 10 years younger than Bud. A couple more would be 12 to 13 years younger than Bud. Got to be careful. Got to be careful. Next one. Go for it.
Super chat from Garrett Lloyd. He says, these young fighters are going to part Bum Lord Crawford. Your Bum Lord and Savior is getting knocked out next fight, no matter if it's the cable guy. Yo.
Say what?
What if that's like really Spence? What if it's like Jared Lloyd's actually Earl?
That would be funny. So Ortiz wants to go to sleep. Crawford by KO. Someone right there, sorry, Crawford. And look, then they said, nah, DSG. So they want DSG for Vergil Ortiz.
They want Danny?
I like that. I like that fight.
That's still
like
that's still a huge step up.
Oh yeah, it is definitely.
But you know what, Mauricio Herrera, he gave DSG a nice fight, and Vergil just destroyed him. Yep. I mean, it's different Mauricio, obviously, right? But
oh yeah, that was like what, 5 years ago?
Yeah,
4 years ago.
But nonetheless,
Oh yeah. No. I was just saying.
He got him out of this. So it's like, they got that going, that little, little common area that they got going for them. And he's a forward pressure fighter for sure. But I think still, man, that DSG is still too quick for Vergil. Still too quick. I mean, I'm pretty sure Vergil go in there, balls to the wall, trying to, do what he does and put him away. But, I mean, have we seen Vergil get clipped yet? It's like when you start getting hit just as hard as you can hit and, see how you react to that. I can't just throw you in there with these lions up there. But then again, you got to ask yourself, Golden Boy Promotions, they're going with their new sung hero and future, Vergil Ortiz now. Are they going to put their new investment, or not new investment, but their new announced number one investment in the line of a guy like Bud Crawford? Like, come on. Like, I know Golden Boy is well aware of what type of fighter T-Bud is. So, for him to just let Vergil go over there and try to get a fight, I don't think it happens. Jaron Ennis, though, I mean, who promotes Jaron Ennis? I really don't know, guys. Anybody got an idea who and how that fight could be made with T-Bud in Top Rank?
As far as like promotional.
Yeah, I just never heard. Of a promoter attached to Jaron. I don't know if he's like a free agent or.
Yeah, that's a good question. I know he's with what's his name, the manager. Hold on. You know what? I know where to look on BoxRec. It shows you.
No, and it's not even on there either. That's why
it's not.
Yeah, I was. I thought that the boxing. Britannica was on, but he's obviously having a little bit of a pup issue. Poor little Sky is having a little problem with her ear. So, I mean, but yeah, we can ask for that fight, right? Jaron Ennis, look, intrigues.
I mean, can you like?
No, we can ask for it. Are we gonna get it? It's a whole nother question.
Yeah, I don't think so at all. Like.
These
Not even a little bit.
Yeah, and look, I'm pretty sure that Golden Boy Promotion has more control over what Vergil Ortiz's destiny might be in that aspect. But I don't know who Jaron Ennis is managed or promoted by.
So by Cameron Duncan.
Boom, Britannica Ness in the building.
Cameron Duncan, who used to manage Mikey Garcia and Terence Bud Crawford.
Yeah, but the promoter is
Cameron Duncan.
Cameron Duncan. It
One
is
Promotions. Okay. He's no longer a manager.
That's right. He's no longer a manager. That's why I was so confused, because I was like, wait, his manager Cameron Duncan, but I forgot that he's not a manager anymore. Yeah,
so
I don't know.
I should go. Yo, we've been trying to get Ennis and never got him. I should go through his promoter, cause Cameron's my man. I should be like, yo, Cameron. Matter of fact, that's what I'm gonna do right now, bruh. I've been trying forever and a day. I even got Ennis' number. It don't even matter. My man is like only gym work and shit.
He locked in. He locked in right now. Cheese.
Champs do.
Damn.
He said Falcon Punch.
Yeah. So what are we deciding? Is he running out of time, or does he still got time? I'm gonna be honest.
Got time, but it's ticking.
It's ticking, bro.
I'm gonna say, if you ain't taking punishment, how is your clock ticking, man?
Well, that too, because he can be a look, man. He looks like when he's not boxing, he's always doing something that's active and healthy.
No, he's always in the gym because he's in camp with all his stablemates. He likes to work out with them, so he's always in shape.
But ain't it crazy? That's that. Like, I don't know if you've seen this, but like when he's not doing boxing, he's doing something dope. Like he's fishing. I never see him like in the club partying. Like that's just not him. His longevity, and you mention it like that, can be a lot further than just most guys, right? I mean, how much punishment has he taken? How many rounds, does he really? I mean, he has 204 rounds. Like, there's guys in here that have like 300 and something, and like his rounds are not like bad rounds, bro. He's TKO'd cats. Like, he's cooling his body. If he's not beating up his body should be holding out pretty good.
Yo, I ain't know Bud had 204. Let me see what that is in retrospect to Pacquiao, who's the oldest welterweight active fighter. He got 4. Yo, and if Pacquiao wasn't Pacquiao, I would be reading this box right saying, damn, my man is worn out. Pacquiao got 486 rounds boxed, and he still beat fucking Thurman. Thurman, you hurting my feelings, dog. Every time I gotta think back at that fight and the old Pacquiao being. Let me see how many Porter got. 231. Let me see. Keefe. I know Keefe got a little bit. You're making me log in now. Y'all
I don't think it really takes away from Keith. I mean, you're talking about a dude who.
Yeah, my boy Keith. My boy Keith really one time. Huh? Only 160 rounds boxed. Really knocking people out. Not that fake Yeah, right. He is fake.
Yeah, he got 75%.
He ain't had a knockout in like 4 or 5 years, poor Keith, man. I miss the real Keith, man. I miss Keith, man. You know what I'm saying?
KO
yeah.
Keith.
You better not duck me, son. You better not duck me, son.
Ugas coming in with 184 rounds boxed. And look, all these people are right there in the same amount of fights. Look, Ugas got what, 29 fights? Thurman.
How's his KO ratio? Because I mean, Bud's is 75. That's pretty dang good.
No. Ugas ain't got no KO ratio. He got 41%. But you got to remember, he's fighting welterweights.
Okay, I get you. He's just visited the.
But Bud is still making a case because his last 4 have been welterweight knockouts. So yeah, man.
Nah, man. Yeah, no, and it's gotta be frustrating.
That's
for
why
him,
I don't
bro.
like. Look, this isn't me saying is he running out of time. Boxing News 24 seems not to like Bud.
They don't.
I wonder if, but look, there's already a new article there from this morning, right? I found this one this morning, and now there's already another one on Bud. And let me tell you the title of that. Let me go back to the beginning. So there's a new one already on Bud, and the title is Terence Crawford with few options for next fight in 2021. I think, matter of fact, this might be the same article and they changed the title.
Yeah, I think that is the same article.
They changed the title. That's the same picture.
That was the wording. That was the same wording as the other one.
And that was the same picture. They changed the title. They used running out of time. I don't know. Maybe they ain't like that I copied half their title.
or maybe they're running out of time. No.
Guys, I must tell you something. That is message. All right, we have my man Big Super Max Rodriguez. This is the first time I say it like that. Do me drinking the Bud Light IC. Yo, we got the only Anheuser Busch factory here on the East Coast in New Jersey, right around our way. Even though it closed down, but yeah, I might be drinking a little bit of the Bud Light this morning.
It seeped into your water.
That's
the Aaron Brockovich.
Let me give that context we never gave, right? So in the article it says Crawford is running out of time. It's like a subcategory, right? Because they gave multiple categories. Running out of time. Terrence's best chance at a big fight. Top rank looking for Crawford's next opponent. And obviously Terence Crawford with few options for his next 2020 fight. So
they're following him close.
No, every day they got multiple Crawford articles. But in the running out of time, they used the Mark Kriegel quote from ESPN's live telecast where he says, and I quote, "Listen, by the time Danny Garcia and Errol Spence fight, he'll," and this is editor's brackets, Crawford, "will be 33 years old," Kriegel continued. "By the time Errol Spence is ready for him or not, who knows, but this is a fight that's makeable and great enough for where Terence is in his career." But he's right? Like, so if you do make...
You didn't say what fight.
What?
What fight are you talking about?
The Errol's fight.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
So he said if Danny fights Errol, Crawford's going to turn 33. Mm-hmm. When and if Errol fights Crawford, how old would he be? Would he be 34 or would he be 35? You know, because Danny and Errol finally fight whenever they fight because of this pandemic. Then what if Errol is supposed to go with the said trajectory and get Pacquiao next? Then it's Crawford. How old is Crawford then? You know, so the question is, will Bud still be the same fighter he is today at the time that he faces those guys?
I don't know, and that's a very good question, and it gets interesting because of the rounds we just saw. It's not like he's spent his body. His body's not spent.
Now the author, I'm sorry to cut you off, but just the author. This is what the author is suggesting, right? Which I didn't even want to say. Because I'm like, damn, he's like looking at the pandemic as a forever thing, right? He's like, Crawford is not going to have to sit and wait for a shot at Spence and Danny. Those fights might not happen until 2023 or 2024, given the situation with the pandemic. Crawford might be in his mid-30s by the time he gets a chance to fight Spence or Danny. Now, and that's obviously because he's factoring in ticket sales. Like, how do you make a Danny fight, right? Because Stonebone said Crawford made over 10 mil when he fought Khan. So you definitely need a crowd. And you definitely are going to need pay-per-view for Danny and Spence to fight Crawford, which means when does that happen with this pandemic? So how old is Crawford going to be? Is he running out of time?
I don't know, man. I think that it seems like the argument is made pretty well. I mean, really the only point to suggest he's not is that he hasn't taken punishment. And I don't know if that's even like the most valid point or the most scientific point, even though I made it earlier. I don't know if it's the most scientific point in that, like, you know, anything can happen. You know, guys, you know, the body declines in like a lot of different ways. So, you know, we've seen fighters get old overnight. But Crawford's just not young anymore. I mean, you remember the Sergio Martinez era, right? You know, he was already older and they were trying to rush him into all the fight. Not rush him, he was ready, but you know, they wanted a lot of big fights for him and it took him a long time. And then what ended up happening when he finally got that big Cotto fight? He was on one leg. You know what I'm saying? He aged out. Go ahead, Ness.
Yo, realistically though, man, looking at BoxRec, my best friend. Bro, should we even be considering Vergil and Ennis? Ennis is 26 on BoxRec. Vergil is 21. Like, there's so many names between there and them? Or do we look at them like it's their potential that makes them more viable as an opponent for Crawford over a Jesse Vargas, a David Avanesian, a Sergey Lipinets, Maurice Hooker, Jamal James, Omar Figueroa, Josecito Lopez, Delorme. Even though I said, look how much bass I put in my voice to say Delorme, forgetting that Crawford kicked his butt at 40. But Delorme has gotten a better later half of his career. He's been into, like, the last two that he's had have been really decent fights.
Well, I think though.
There is message. Ennis' last fight was against the goat herder, and Ortiz fought a Herrera who looked like he belonged in a wheelchair. These cats need to STFU ABD fight someone.
What? Who said that?
That was Boston Jared. His super chat didn't go through on the actual write-up. Only his.
I saw that.
So I had to let the man be heard.
That was pretty funny.
That was funny.
But yeah, I mean, Busbutin took himself out. Ray Robinson is a double draw. I'm telling you, it's Formella. Formella keeps looking sexy. Formella's at 24 with a belt.
That belt.
He's ranked at 24 with a belt. Ennis is 26. He fought a goat herder according to Boston Jared. And Vergil Ortiz is 21, and he fought, old man Herrera. So, like, Formella looking the best out of the top from the 11 down, right? Because he already beat Khan. I mean, I guess somebody would probably like Sergey Lipinets over Formella because he's had more U.S. television fights. Maybe he got more of a following. I don't know. But the Formella's more marketable with that title, man. Look.
Well,
go
ahead.
No,
I was just going to say that I think that going back to the point you made, it's like if you look at all those guys, like, none of them really, like, you mentioned the Jesse Vargas and all them, and none of them inspire, right? Like, you don't hear them and you're like, oh, that's a fight. With Vergil Ortiz and Ennis, it is about the potential. It is about what they, the skills they have, how young they are, and knowing that more than likely they're going to develop even better. And that's what's so scary about them. So, is it a disservice to them to put them in at this point without the experience that guys like Crawford have been able to get and Spence have been able to get? I just don't think that is beneficial to either of them. You know what I mean? So you got to look at it both ways. And I just been watching boxing long enough to know you got to earn your keep, right? Everybody thought that Thomas Delorme was going to be something. Everybody said he was going to be the next big junior welterweight kingpin. Everybody was convinced on him, and it just wasn't the case. Sometimes these guys get put in front of them, somebody who can throw back, and they get shown. And I'm not saying that's going to happen to Ennis or Vergil. I'm just saying that right now you cannot take away or discredit, guys like Kelbrook and guys like Vargas and Omar. I probably wouldn't throw Figueroa in there, but these guys have accomplished things that Ennis and Ortiz may very well accomplish at some point, but they just haven't done that yet.
It's funny you bring that up, man. That shows the vast knowledge, bro, because it was a point where Thomas Delorme was receiving the same amount of hype that Vergil Ortiz is receiving right now. Like, he was adapted as a Puerto Rican. He was sought after by 3 promoters. I mean, he was that dude. They thought he was going to be the next welterweight. He's absolutely right. Then he faced Luis Carlos Abreu. He knocked him into a 140-pound division where he stood there for a couple years. After that knockout, he moved down to 140, fought a few fights. And then he's starting to earn his keep, man. I ain't going to front. He is starting to earn his keep.
He's definitely gotten... Yes, definitely.
And we talk about that all the time, like what Canelo got from getting beat by Floyd. And, I think it starts, once Delorme gets that win, it's going to be that time to talk about him that way because, he didn't get the win he deserved with the Vargas fight. And The Ugas fight, that was tight, and some believe he won, and he wants the rematch, and Ugas is not even trying to hear him, And basically that's really his only two losses because Abregu was just like so long ago, and that dude isn't even fighting no more. That dude, that was his claim to fame, is like beating up my mans and junk. He got knocked out by Saddam Ali. But yeah, I mean, Terrell needs a win. Sorry about that, Domingo.
Alexander Wilson says NCAA has started to cancel sports for the fall, and the rumors that football is moving to the spring. Are we going to see big boxing matchups in 2020?
And that just
I thought it was just the Ivy League that was canceled. Is the Ivy League considered NCAA?
Well, we still even haven't gotten a second wave, and that's what the author is saying.
That's what's
like,
scary.
With the unknown right in front of us, what we do know is that we're far off from ticket sales and live gates. And hopefully that's not true, man, because I'm tired of this. But let's get to these callers, man.
These calls are brought to you by El Camino Electrical Services, experts in electric vehicle charging stations. For consultations and turnkey installation, visit us at elcaminoelectricalservices.com.
Remember to rate us 5 stars on iTunes.
Remember, the question is Terence Crawford running out of time based on age, prime, availability of opponents, pandemic, all those things?
The saddest thing in life is wasted talent.
All right, let's go on out to Boston. Jared, what up?
Yeah, can y'all hear me?
We do.
Yeah. Yeah, so Crawford is, I guess, technically running out of time, although I think his skill set is going to be able to last a lot longer than some other guys, just based off the fact that he isn't taking a lot of wear and tear. He takes good care of himself, but yeah, all these cats who were sitting there calling him out, man, Vergil Ortiz and Jaron Ennis. Yeah, these cats need to fight somebody, man. I don't want to hear nothing from neither one of them dudes until they fight somebody. But yeah, the short answer is yeah, he running out of time. He in the same boat with Andrade and Gary Russell and a couple other cats, man. They just that they on the shelf. They don't have huge cachets to bring with them, and they're tough outs. They're good fighters. They're high risk, low reward guys at this point. So it's going to be tough to get them in there with guys. So yeah, that's it. That's my call.
All right, let me go on out to the uncrowned king.
Just like the king is what I mean. The king is what I mean.
Yo, there's no way. There's no way Bud Crawford's running out of time. There's no way.
Nope.
Because if he's running out of time, everybody's running out of time. The problem is, I think he's running out of time at the division. You know what I'm saying? Like if the fights don't get made, they may not ever get made until somebody ends up moving up anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like if they keep playing around, if you factor in all things with, you know what I'm saying, C90, factor everything in, somebody gonna sit around and say, yo, because these guys are getting into their 30s, and whatever they do outside of the ring, 147, you cannot stick around there for long as no grown man. That's what makes Floyd a miracle. A grown man walking around at like 160 in great shape, you know what I'm saying? Barely that, and can go down to 147. You got to live a super clean lifestyle. So even if you like certain amounts of red meat, that could throw you off. So, the division is running out of time.
Yeah, he talking about people like me who always stay ready and could body him right now if I needed to. Yeah, I think that's what he meant.
Everybody put your hands in the air. Get over here!
Yeah, that's this Saturday is gonna be interesting, man. I mean, I sent out, my, I spoke to my,
What's going on Saturday? What's going on Saturday?
Yeah, I spoke, I spoke to my manager in the background, you know what I'm saying? That's Heyman is, what can I say? He just makes things happen. So, I told him what was going on with me this week, you know what I'm saying? What's going on, sort of like when Tio was facing my man from Japan, Takanakan, or whatever the heck it was. There's some things that was going on in Tio's, life that, he was having to handle, and I got sort of the same situation right now. This weekend is kind of hectic for me. So I put the list out, and it looks like East Coast Promotions might just make it happen as they usually do, man. And I'll let the announcement come from the company itself, and we'll see what we get this Saturday.
Monster kill.
Yeah, I mean, it's official. You versus Cash. We making in-house fights because we don't want the public to think that we top ranking it, and not fighting, putting the best versus the best. So, yeah, it's gonna be Doomy versus Cash.
Yo, that's a crazy battle, bro. That's crazy.
Then we got King Amin of Essex. Let me see what we got, actually, man. We got a lot going on this week, man. We got Stainless. ECP's really got his whole squad out there. We got ECP's very own Stainless from Detroit taking on Sony from Cincinnati. Then we got Cash Wheezy, a.k.a. the Casual Fan, taking on Doomy, over here, Doomsday Lioness. Then we got... What else we got? Let's see here. What else is missing? Main event. Mario defending that title. You know what I mean? Versus the undefeated. Oh no, he got a loss, right? Greatness, he's 2-1. What is?
Oh yeah, he lost to Cash.
Okay, I mean, look.
Oh, and he lost to Idris.
But this is Mario's voluntary. You see, he's not taking a voluntary versus Sony. No disrespect. I'm just going off records. You know what I'm saying? He's not afraid to put his title out there. He's not fighting like Burchell at 35 and not defending his title. No. Mario's defending his title versus Greatness, who's out here trying to seek greatness from Harlem. So Harlem World, I want to see y'all stand up on Saturday. Come out and root for your boy live. You better vote for him because, he's in with the King and the Lion now. And then we got, speaking of King, we got King Amin that we haven't found an opponent for yet. You know what I'm saying? He wanted that Cash Wheezy fight. But Wheezy went the Doomy route. Let me see what was the other options, because I'm pretty sure we wanted Izzy. You know what I'm saying? Izzy needed time to get ready for Amin, so we gonna do that next week. So we trying to stay busy with we trying to stay busy. You need to tweak that one. That one's a little bit loud. But we trying to stay busy. We trying to stay busy with Amin and not have him in no bye week. So, we might do Juan in the BX if he want to take a shot. We step
up the game.
We giving out invitations, man. Public invitations, so that there's no running, no more dodging, no more ducking. You know what I mean? Because when things is done in the dark, like we kind of he's not getting the credit he deserves. You know what I'm saying? So we issuing out challenges to anybody that wants to fight on Saturday. It's that simple. Anyone that ain't busy and is ready. So JP, JT, BX, Juan, whoever.
Yeah, so let me get to this message from Esso Akuni. Says, Top Rank losing out on Mikey Garcia is more damaging than people give credit. A guy that can make matchups in multiple weight classes would do wonders for a Bud, Tio, or Josh Taylor right now. Even Pac.
Who?
I mean,
I gotta hear
Mikey Garcia. He says,
that's a big fight, but I mean, there'll be some questions there, but he just did really decent. I guess we need to go back and watch the Vargas fight, see how good he did there. I think he got a late knockdown, right?
Yeah, no, I think it was 7th round. He
Yeah, that's pretty
him
late.
up.
That's after the 6th. But
Pretty
yeah,
good.
I mean, he got a late knockdown, and look, if they could get, but that's Mikey's a name. That's what I'm saying. That's why we not putting Porter in the equation because they too expensive. Ortiz and Ennis are bucks. You know what I mean? So they not as expensive as those stars. Mikey's a star. He just did a pay-per-view, win or lose. He did them numbers with Earl and brought in 48,000 tickets with Earl. So it's like it would be dumb for Crawford and Bob not to capitalize off Mikey when they can. Why overpay Mikey so y'all don't want to hear me? That's your soundbite doing me? Why overpay Mikey?
That wasn't me.
Why overpay Mikey when you can't even make that money? You can't make that money. Where you going to get it from? How you going to pay him? Like, why? Don't overpay Mikey. Do it when you can. Do it right. And that's not right now. If they could get the money, I want it. Let's be clear. If they got the money, then do it. But
Ness, you called it. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were done.
No, I am done.
You called it. They went with the Katie Taylor-Delphine fight, the rematch.
That's good though. Shout out to
Good
Serrano.
call.
She got out of. I mean, not me. Probably Rob told me, and I told y'all. But shout out to Serrano. She got out that contract. Man. That fight ain't worth it with no crowd right now, man. Giving me pay cuts, stringing me along, got me doing 2-3 camps. Delphine needs her rematch, and that's admirable of Katie. I look at her a different way now. You know what I mean? She could have talked to herself like, yo, that fight is tough. I'll possibly lose the Serrano fight if I don't beat her. Let's not go with that. And she's going with it, so shout out to her. That's going to be interesting to watch. Let me see if JP's on the line. JP, what up?
Oh man, it's all good. Good morning to y'all. Good morning. You already know as far as the boxing bars go, I got the clip loaded already. So whoever wanted can get it. But in regards to
I've been trying to reach out to you, man. I got like 7 days trying to get pictures from you for the press release. So
they in there. I put them. They in Skype.
Oh, wow.
They in there now. I have to turn the notifications on.
Okay.
But when it comes to Crawford, man, I think the writing's on the wall. Few factuals we all know. We know De La Hoya, I believe Mosley, Mayweather, all these people had to leave top ranked. Take it a step further, and let's go talk about black fighters and Bob Arum. Now, Bob Arum has plenty quotes out there we can all find, kind of talking about how black fighters aren't marketable. Then let's take it a step further and look at, the last black fighter he had, Tim Bradley. People will argue Tim had a pretty sturdy career. But the truth is Tim was put in there with dogs, was never showcased as the A side. He damn near died with Kravatnikov. Tim was just the token black dude over there who was used as the B side to promote bigger fights. But he was never a showcase, and I doubt he ever got those top dollars. He probably ended up doing very well for himself. But at the end of the day, man, I think the writing's on the wall that Terence is wasting his time over there, and I don't believe that Bob looks at him because it's obvious guys like Lomachenko and Fury can come over and get everything they want. I don't think Bob looks at Terence as a boxing star, as a premier boxing star. I don't believe he does. And I think the writing's on the wall.
But isn't the writing on the wall that he is a star by winning ESPYs, by unifying, and by being undisputed, and also
but that's
by
all
selling?
tied up with ESPN.
But he also sells out. He also
ESPN.
sells out. How are you not a star, but you sell out in your hometown? Like thousands. It's not 8. It's like 12,000 he doing over there. That's a lot of people.
That's true. I can't deny that. But I think at the end of the day, us hardcores, if we relate it to rap, the streets still get to dictate your credibility. So same applies in boxing. This reason Ryan Garcia is not a boxing star. He got all this media shit and all of that. But we, the real fans, it got to start at the core of it. We don't say he's a boxing star yet. And the thing with Crawford, yeah, we had way too much time with a fucking eye test. We don't do this much eye testing. This guy been around like a decade, it feels like. And we still, if he gets in a ring with Jose Ramirez, we have no idea.
Damn. Hold on.
I thought he was laughing at him.
Hold on. Somebody get the
I was like, what did he say so funny?
No, I was laughing and coughing at the same time.
I know. I was like,
he caught me in the middle of the drag, bro. My man. Oh man, he crazy. That was pretty funny.
I bet that hurt like hell, huh?
It did. You know, you hate when you cough. Yo, it's hard to knock on Bradley. I can do what he did, but bro, when you think about Bradley getting $5 million and $8 million for Pacquiao fights.
Yeah, he got him twice.
I've been wrong for almost 4 years saying that he only did 275,000 when really he did like 375 with Marquez on pay-per-view plus beat Marquez. You know, that's a win. That's a legend win on his resume forever. Yeah, I ain't knock out Pacquiao, but I knocked out or I beat the guy that knocked him out. You know what I'm saying? So like,
plus they got you know, when JP first said it, I was like, he's right. Nah, they put him in there tough, but you know what? He got the Pacquiao, he got the Marquez, and he's got the gig right now. You know, that's an important spot for fighters.
Yeah, they looked out for him post-boxing,
yes.
You got to respect that, man. Listen, I would love to go down that route.
True, he did get that one, but no.
I would love to go down that route with JP just cause, but it ain't right. Yo, Bradley had a beautiful career, bro. I follow Bradley's career entirely. Like, my man gave Lamont Peterson his first loss. You know, I think he dropped
Devin Alexander at a time when it was like, you know, they were the two best.
Yeah, he gave Devin. He gave Devin his first loss. The guy we just hyped up that beat up Delorme, he gave him his first loss. Bro, Bradley was a dude that was undefeated, taking people's left and right with no power. Taking your
all grit.
All grit, bro. Taking your And honestly speaking, the technique ain't there either. Like, people love to knock on Wilder, but bro, watch a Bradley fight. Like, is he technical? Hell yeah. But can he get wild? Absolutely. He'll bring a punch from like his ankle. You know what I'm saying?
He got dragged into a few fights, especially that Provodnikov fight.
Of course. But he's had a historic career. He should be first ballot Hall of Fame. He went to the United Kingdom and beat Junior Witter, who was a champ and a true champ at the time. You know, like, that's why he gets along with Bud. They both went to the UK for their first titles. You know?
He's mentally tough. That's one thing I got to give to Tim. He's mentally tough, bro. That Provodnikov fight alone was like it's
sad that's what everybody is like making his bones about. That's like
is it so much was answered as a fighter in that, like, you know, you could have fought that fight differently. You decided
he should have. Yeah. He didn't answer anything.
That goes back to what he said on
career.
Coach came on and told us that he got dragged into that fight.
Yeah, he should have not done that.
It goes back to the conversation that they had on ESPN. He said it, you know, when we saw Andy in the bag getting worked on, you know, that's when Tim made that point. He said, look, the media, the fans, they all want to hype you up and say, yo, we love it when you fight like a dog. We love it when you throw the punches, when you take the power. We love it. But then after the fight, where's everybody at? Because it was a picture of Andy just by himself. And he's like, nobody's like that. You got to think about yourself. And I think that's what he's talking about.
Jamel said that yesterday, right?
We had talked about that conversation. Yeah.
No. I mentioned it because when he said that, bro, I was thinking about it so hard because even in the amateurs, dude, when I won, it was like everybody was there. Yo, when I lost, bro, only people next to me was my coach, Ness, and my dad, and that's it. Everybody else that was there, Nobody came to say what's up. Nobody came to say nothing. It was crazy. It's a real thing, man. But yeah, I digress.
Nah, let me get to Brandon in Cincinnati.
Yo, what's up, fellas? Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Loud and clear, champ.
Yeah, I just hopped on. I haven't really heard any of the calls or any of you guys' comments, so I'm gonna just kind of piggyback off the title. It says, "Does Bud have enough time to prove his greatness?" My thing is with that, man, is Bud's top 3 minimum on everybody's pound for pound list. We have fighters on PBC side, top rank. So we top ranked bias. We had Abner Mars come over here on the show and say Bud is the best fighter in the game. Floyd Mayweather. So why does he have to prove his greatness? It seems like he's already proven his greatness when every fighter we have on here is talking about how good he is. So I don't get who's he's proven his greatness to. He's won all the awards. He's been undisputed, unified, 3 division belt holder.
Hey man, listen. If you're happy, then you're happy. You know. But these are writers writing. You know. These are writers writing. These are questions fans have. You know. Caesar in Vegas.
Yo.
What up?
Let me speak real quick. Hello. Hey, morning, fellas. Great show. Man, I finally get to call in, man. I've been working in a dead spot, so no service. But now that I can't
Yeah, your
call
service
in,
is bad.
yeah, am I choppy?
Choppy.
R2D2 status, champy.
Yeah.
Oh,
We're on Star
shit.
Wars. Nah, but you know, go
Oh,
for
man.
it. You got 30-something seconds left. Actually less.
All right. Well, I don't think that Bud is running out of time. I mean, yeah, I mean, technically, yeah, but I mean, he stays in the gym. He stays in shape. I feel like he takes care of himself. He don't drink. I think he's gonna be a threat for another couple of years. So yeah.
Yo, it's funny. That's the second person to say, I don't think he's running out of time, but technically he is running out of time, but I don't think he's running out of time. So just keep an eye on that. Trey in the Bay.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep.
Choppy?
Yep. Nope.
All right. I'm gonna be short anyway. I've been saying the same thing for Wilder and Bud. It seems like they're waiting for them dudes to slow down before they put anybody in the ring with them. I felt like that about Wilder and AJ. I'm like, oh, they just trying to age him out. I feel the same way about Bud, man. And then Corona ain't helping either, right? That's putting an extra year between everybody on everything. So that's my call. Give my Boomerang the Stone Bone. I'm sure he got plenty to say.
All right. Great super chat from my Jimbe. You got it?
No, I was just, giving you the the liquid snake soundbite. Yeah, it just says, who is Dud's Hall of Fame win? Well, we've been searching for that, and no, he doesn't have one yet, and that's been the argument, right? That's been the argument time and time again. Who's the Hall of Famer? And I think that's why he. Well, no, probably many reasons why he would push for a Pacquiao fight, but he's been pushing for the Pacquiao fight. It's not like Bud doesn't want to face a top guy or a legend like that, Hall of Famer. I don't know if Errol Spence and DSG and all the other guys are falling to Hall of Famers just yet. I mean, what do you think, Mario? Not yet, right?
Danny is very, very close. I mean, what he did at 140, beating Matisse, he's very, very close. I don't think he's a first ballot right now, but I could definitely see him getting in.
That's crazy that it's gonna take me. I'm over there and I'm hearing y'all and I'm like, Are they serious? Of course he's a first ballot Hall of Famer, bro. He's unified and undisputed in 2 different divisions. He's in one unified and the other undisputed, and then in the next a world champion on his first fight.
Yeah,
Like,
that's a good
DSG
point.
solidifies.
he doesn't need a Hall of Fame win, but it was a great super chat from Majimba who said "dud, not bud." Did you catch that?
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Yo, but he doesn't need a Hall of Fame win the way that Bradley has Marquez, because Bradley didn't do what Bud did. It's that simple.
And he really didn't do what Danny did either. I mean, because he beat the Devins of the world, but he left Amir Khan there. He
didn't leave Amir Khan there. Amir Khan wanted no Bradley smoke. And then Bradley, I mean, I guess there's an argument that Bradley took the Top Rank deal.
Yes.
But
That's absolutely what happened.
Remember, the Devin fight happened because Khan didn't want them, even though then.
Well, and he was also not with Top Rank at the time.
I think Khan had actually fought right before them, fought Maidana, or right after, whatever, man. I don't know. Look, Khan is a never pan out. He never panned out to be what he was supposed to be. It's the bottom line. We got a super chat counterpunch from Brandon in Cincinnati. What up?
Yeah, man. At the end of the day, like I was saying, Bud doesn't have to prove his greatness. His greatness is solidified when you talk to all the pundits. He's top 3 pound for pound.
This is Mark Kriegel. You understand that, right? So, isn't he a pundit?
Am I gonna get extra time? You just cut me off.
Absolutely, but isn't he a pundit?
Okay. That's one guy. But I mean, if he shows his pound for pound, I bet you Bud's top 3 on it. But let me move on. Instead of saying what he has to do to be great, let's ask these guys who are trying to be great to beat the guy that's everybody think top 3 pound for pound. That's one thing. We don't ask that question. But 2, somebody said Lomachenko, Bob is invested more in the Lomachenko. He's getting the fights he wants. The fight he wants is an in-house fight. Bud didn't have these issues when he was at 140. He was able to become undisputed because there wasn't no across the street shit. We only started having these conversations.
Cut it.
Nah, I hear him, man. But think about that same logic. Like, how easy would it be for Errol Spence to be undisputed right now at welterweight if all the fights was in-house? Like, so you answered your own question, and it's sad as a bud tender that you would say that, because you know that we, specifically the detractors of Bud, say he was undisputed because of who he fought. A vacant title with Delorme, another vacant title with the postal Lucas Matisse winner, and then Undango that came out of nowhere beating another nobody in Tronowski. Like, dog, we don't have to get into semantics. He did what people don't do. He'll be a first ballot Hall of Famer, but to lie is a lie. The truth is, we want to see him fight someone. His contemporaries want to see him fight someone. A pundit who gets paid very well from ESPN, the network that is broadcasting his fights, wants to see him fight someone. These are his quotes. These are his quotes on live air when you were watching boxing. You chose to cover your eyes, do the little monkey emoji and cover your eyes with your hands. Nah, champ. Or your ears, rather, because you didn't want to hear what he was saying. But, it was TV. You could have seen it, too, And that's just it. Kriegel, who's chilling, rubbing elbows with Ward and Bradley, who think Bud is as great as they say, they're saying this. We're just debating it with the people, because there is no debate on ESPN. They just get to talk, unlike you getting an opportunity. Don't be mad at us. Don't shoot the messenger. We just the messenger. We just talking about it. J-Mac, New Orleans.
You know how these bitches is in the sport. Total disrespect. Kid has no class, no style at all. I'm a gorilla, I'm a dog. I'm a dog, I'm a gorilla.
The smartest thing you can do is to stay away from Terrence.
It can't be the boogeyman if I'm chasing him. You want to bet? You bet 100,000 on that. Let's bet $1 million. Easy. Let's bet $1 million.
All right. He's not listening. I mean, not talking. JT, what about you? All right. Keem, you're listening. Sid. Oh, Keem. Oh, JT. All right, we're going to go to JT then.
Yo, Ness, I'm just listening.
Oh, all right. Save us from them curse words. And Sid, you just listening too? All righty, then we're going to go to, let me see. That looks like, what do you say there? All right, he's just listening. That means we're going to N-O. N-O and N-O? Is N-O and N-O a yes or a no?
Ladies
Come
and
back to
gentlemen,
me. Come back to me.
I like to introduce.
About to roll out on all y'all. Sony also just listening. Stone Bone, the last one to bring a good butt argument. Let's see.
Yo, Ness, I'm here.
Oh, my bad, Sony. Apologies. Usually you just listen and go for it, champ.
Hey, yo, I gotta make this real fast, but I totally agree with Brandon. I don't think his greatness gotta be questioned. The only thing about Bud, and to piggyback off of what G Trey said earlier, I don't think it's people staying away from him. I think it's more of Bob Arum protecting Bud from getting into those fights that we want to see. And I think Bud will win the most of them, because I want to talk about Bud the same way people used to talk about Joe Calzaghe in the super middleweight division back in the day. I think Crawford has the best. And you got Jay from Colorado who's offering the battle King. Got me and Greatness would like to know so we can get that promo to you.
Jay from Colorado. I mean, King, like, I don't know.
Say what?
I mean,
Who the fuck is that guy?
oh, you talking about A-Side man?
I said that. Where the ace at? Where the ace at?
Jay from Colorado. Do we got to fight? Cause we don't worry about names. We worry about ranking. You know what I'm saying? But like, we not really trying to go backwards. Like, you know what I'm saying? Info out there. We could give Info a rematch. We could talk about Info getting a rematch. I mean, the thing is, the King is ready and everybody ain't ready for him. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. But Saturday, man. We're gonna go to Stone Bone. I'm gonna go ahead and give you the whole shebang because you got a boomerang from Trey.
Oh, man, shout out to Trey. Hey, I got a question for you, Ness. Right now, who is the most desired fight for fighters at 147?
Pacquiao.
40-year-old Manny Pacquiao and 41-year-old Floyd Mayweather. We still begging for these dudes fights and fight guys to fight him, but 32-year-old Bud is running out of time. Come on. Pacquiao been knocked out 2-3 times, beat in wars and all type of stuff. And he's still out here just beat Keith Thurman. So quit acting like a guy who don't smoke, drink, and who take care of himself, stays in shape, is going to be somehow getting older. So what about the guys who getting drunk and flipping cars? Aren't they getting a year older too? Who do you think is more prepared for their body? The guy who's drunk and flipping cars or the guy who working out in the gym with his cohorts? So we got to be honest about what we're saying. Look at, how old is Adrian Broner?
I don't know. I gotta check. I wouldn't know. I gotta check that.
32, maybe. I'll get that.
Broner may be 30. He might be 30. But think about this. When did he lost, 7 years ago almost to Madonna, right? So he would have been 23 years old. Then around 25 is when we started being like, man, Broner's just going to be used to lose. 26, he fights Mikey. 27, 28, he fights Pacquiao. So we talking about a guy who drink and party who basically fell off at 25. So we can see what alcohol and partying and smoking do to your body. It does bring your body back down to a level that don't allow you to maintain a high. Broner's 30 now. So when he lost to Madonna, he was 23 years old. And after that, when he fought Porter, we were saying, man, Broner might be done. And Porter beat him. Then we said, man, he being used by Mikey for his clout. And that's what they did. So guys can be 25 years old and fall.
And that's what Bob is protecting Bud from, champ. That's what Bob protecting Bud from. He protecting him from, doing his thing in his prime. Broner was a G, okay? You want to bring up Broner, that's the wrong thing to do because he did what we begging Crawford to do. He dared to be great. He jumped up in divisions to be a welterweight. He jumped up and fought Marcos Maidana, who the world knows gave a hell of a fight to Floyd. Not me.
Monster Kid.
Not me. And he did that all, like you said, at 25. You right. Now, 30-year-old Broner, who's not even considered out of his prime due to age, is out of his prime because he tried to be great. But he is a 4-time divisional champ. You're right. You're right. That's what they protecting him from, Broner, Delorme ain't Marcos Maidana. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, Broner fought Marcos Maidana, Antonio DeMar. Let's start with that. No, let's start with Ponce de Leon. No.
You could go back.
No, let's start with what's my man? They put he took $130,000 loan on his own house. He put a lien on his house and put money on him versus TMT's Celestino Caballero and beat the brakes off the Panamanian on HBO with the money he bet on himself. He only got paid like $25,000 for that fight. Got a return fight on HBO for $75,000 to fight Broner. Broner left hooked him to death. So we'll start there. From there, he beat Ponce. I don't think he won, but I don't have to say that. I could have excluded that. But he beat Ponce de Leon after that. From there, he beat the brakes. Oh, I said it wrong. It was Jason Lissau after Ponce de Leon. That's the dude's name who put the money on himself. Now I got my box rec up. After that, not only did he choke Eloy Perez, he beat the brakes off of him. After that, not only did he beat the brakes off of DeMarco, he was the catalyst for beating the brakes off of DeMarco. Like, no one's ever beat the brakes off DeMarco like he did. And the only reason we even talk about DeMarco is because DeMarco's out here giving welterweights right now in their prime hell of a fight. Wasn't it Jamal James that might have got robbed, or rather DeMarco might have got robbed? Didn't he just get robbed versus another welterweight we had on the show that signed a top rank that was undefeated, that was trained by one of the Caputillos or Joel Diaz or something like that? DeMarco's still out here putting hands on young people. No disrespect to the that sounded a little bad, but he out here putting hands on these young welterweights. And Broner beat that is a fight, like a film study. That's like that. You want to see prime Broner? That's it. Then, from there, he beat Paulie. Again, I don't think he won. I think Paulie out-jabbed him, but are you going to win a fight on jabs? You know what I'm saying? But Paulie went on his infamous rant. For those that don't know, this is a history lesson. Paulie goes on an infamous rant in the post-fight. Oh, you only got that because you without Heyman. If I was without Heyman, I'll be da-da-da. Al signs him. Paulie goes on to have another magnificent end of the half of his career. From Paulie, he took the Marcos Maidana fight, which was supposed to be on pay-per-view. Last minute, they pulled it, and they did it straight in San Antonio. I flew to that fight. I did not pick Maidana in that fight. I was Broner's boy back then, too. Like, he was cool with me. I was in the hotel, and I ended up doing push-ups for that fight. Me and Robert was having Coronas at the fight hotel the night before. We made the bet, everything. I was Broner, bruh. What? Only thing I didn't believe about Broner was that he was the next Floyd, but, man, I was sold. I traveled to Cincinnati how many times for how many Broner fights? I was sold, okay? And he had a great fight. I ain't even going to say he got the brakes beat off him because you know what? His left hook was still powerful throughout the 12 rounds of that fight. He broke Maidana's jaw. And that was the downfall of Broner. That fight was a little bit too much. After that, he just wasn't never the same. You know what I mean? He still had a great account of himself with Shawn Porter, but he lost. And he still ended up getting in with big names like Mikey and Pacquiao. And that's what I'm saying. Like, we're not struggling to find names on Broner's resume. We're struggling to find big name wins. But that's what happens when this is what Canelo's telling you when he says, "Oh, you think I lost? Well, I fought the best. So it was a tight fight." That's what happens when you fight the best. One guy wins, one guy loses. You know what I'm saying? But Broner is a bad example. Broner was out here trying to be. He wanted to fight Floyd, and only the boxing gods know if that's what we would have got. Again, history lesson for you. Let's not forget Mayweather gave Broner $1.5 million to step aside. Broner had a rematch. He was the champ. Let's not forget, Floyd gave him 1.5 to step aside. People love to talk about Danny paying Victor Postal because that name is synonymous with Crawford. But let's not forget Mayweather gave Broner 1.5 to step aside. Then he fought Maidana twice. You understand? So if he would have won, what would have happened? Because remember, I got interviews with Broner on youtube.com/theboxingvoice where he said, I don't want to be the first one to get Mayweather his loss, but the whole world was asking him that question when he was undefeated. You gonna fight Floyd? Nah, that's my big bro. But that's all anybody would talk about. The problem is you ain't live it, so right now, you know, you like Stone Bone. Broner ain't nobody but a dude that's been losing. But he wasn't that. He wasn't that. Like he said, when he was 25, he was the future. The future. He was Mr. HBO, matter of fact. He was Mr. HBO. Rock Nation offered him $40 million.
Yeah, he said no.
40. So hold on. Let's think about that, Ness, because you got so much history. That's crazy. 40 million. Wow, he turned that down. Wow. But then what happened? Maidana fights, Garcia fights, Pacquiao fights. Floyd, you know, they took care of him. Even though he out here on social media saying, give me my 10 mil. He might be still thinking like, yo, I ain't get everything I should have got for taking that Maidana fight.
What happened?
But nah, man, like Broner had a hell of a career. Yeah, we could look at him as some sort of loser now, you know? And I don't mean loser like, oh, you a loser like losing fights. But look who he in there with. You know what I'm saying? Who beat Mikey? Earl. who we argue that could win or lose to Bud? Earl. You know what I mean? Who beat Broner? Mikey. Who beat Broner? Pacquiao. Who just beat Thurman? Pacquiao. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't do that to Broner when I've been right here for years, especially the last year, saying Bud needs to fight Broner. That'll take him over the top. Even with all them draws and losses. He got a loss to Mikey, a draw to Vargas, and a loss to Pacquiao. And I'm still saying, not just today, I've been saying, it's on record, that's the fight he needs. That's the fight he needs, because once he gets that boost from Broner on the popularity side, Al's going to be like, all right, the time is right. Numbers are there. We needed that. Let's go. But no, they want to fight Crab and Lobster.
Champ.
Come on, man. Yo, we out, man. No, I know you need me to come back to you. Talk to us.
Boston Jared says Joe Calzaghe, the senior citizen assassin, the imperial wizard of cherry pickers, should never be compared to Bud ever.
Lies. He don't know boxing like that, Jared. That's Jared or who?
That's Jared.
Boston or Lloyd?
Boston Jared.
I'm cutting you, bro. You wildin', Boston. Calzaghe. So see, if he would have chose a different phrasing, I could have ran with him. But to say that he's some sort of old man beater, when freaking, hey yo, it's crazy how fickle y'all pancake boxing fans, bro. Bernard after losing to Calzaghe has gone on to unify the light heavyweight division. Like, chill, champ. How you gonna call him old and that's Joe Smith's biggest win? That's who retired him. Someone had to retire him because he kept beating young boys. After Calzaghe beat him, he beat undefeated IBF champion Tavares Knockout Cloud, bruh. And you gonna call him an old man and all that? Man, fickle, man, I swear. Fickle. Damn, we went to Amin and JP, right? So that's it. I think we lost Decatur, Georgia. All right, we're going to go to NO. Talk to us. No? All right. Ryan in the UK.
Chill.
And That's also a no. All right, there we go. And no.
Whoa.
What up?
Look, check me out, bro. Check me out. I think we all ahead of ourselves. I don't think none of the welterweights, bro, at that 30-year age bracket and up, like not too far, but like right at that 20, from 28 to 30, 31, whatever, 32. Ain't none of them guys Hall of Famers yet in my eyes. You know what I'm saying? They still got the rest of their career to play out, and that'll you know what I'm saying? That'll give you a better gauge of where to put them. Like Bud, I look at Bud right at that moment before Marvin Hagler fought Hitman and Sugar Ray and all them. You know, he up there at the top of the game, but he got to fight the fights. That's my call.
Yo, look how fickle Coach Mitty is. Oh, talk to us about Jeff Lacy. Jeff Lacy is Vergil Ortiz. He was a knockout artist with mad hype on him, and then he fought Calzaghe and lost, and after that he wasn't the same. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? UK dudes like to get at Jeff Lacy like we haven't seen that happen. And again, what did Jeff Lacy do? As a prospect, basically / maybe contender at the time, stepped up to Calzaghe. That's what he did. Like, that's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? If Vergil Ortiz steps up to Crawford, what's going to happen? We don't know, but we can guess. You know what I mean? And then y'all going to be calling Vergil a flop or a fake because he took a loss to somebody good? Because last I checked, Calzaghe going to the Hall of Fame. Last I checked, he beat B-Hop, Lacy, and Roy, and that's just Americans. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I don't get it, man. I don't get it. But Decatur, Georgia, what up? Yo, you got a super chat?
Yeah, Majid says, whatever happened to showing you're great? In every sport you play, the game to be considered number one. Bud is playing in the minors. He can't be considered great yet.
There you go. And that's what I'm saying. At least Broner is getting in there with dudes that we don't think he would. Like, I ain't think he was going to take that Porter fight. He took it. We out here begging Ken Porter to call Bob because Bob won't call him. We begging. How long did we beg for that fight until they finally came out and said, Porter himself said, because of the pandemic, is off the table. We ain't gonna be able to do that, no way, because it's all the pandemic now. So, and plus, I never had the conversation. He still did say that, but he added the pandemic. So, like, we been begging for Porter, and Broner fought Porter. I can't believe Stonebone said that. Broner's a G, man. Like, yeah, he could be considered a little bit of an emoji clown right now, but he's still a G in that ring, bro. I wish I had the guts of Broner to get in with the people that he's gotten in there with, bro. His biggest knock is he ain't got the Bud work ethic. You know, what would Broner be if Bomac took him under his wing and brought his ass back? You right, he only 30. He ain't done. It's his work ethic. You know what I'm saying? And that come from, that's why he don't let his hands go, because, dog, if you spar, if you fight, when you tired, you don't let your hands go. That's why I don't even tell fighters, like, let your hands. I know now you tired. And that's what happened to Broner. Broner rather play defense. He's like, yo, if I gas, I'm done. You know what I mean? But I got a bad feeling about this. There is a trainer out there that could work with that. Right now, he's stuck to familiarity. Hunter was his trainer at one point, or helped. They know each other from the amateurs, you know what I'm saying? That don't count. Ken, that don't count. Who else he had? Stafford, hometown trainer that, got him all the way to where he got him, but obviously we see that Stafford can't keep him in shape. He can't keep him in shape. You know what I'm saying? He balloons himself, you know? But, yeah, man, I would love a I won't even say Robert because obviously Robert is on the other side and Mikey over there. But, I mean, if he ain't going to fight Bud, he might as well try to go over there with Bomac. Man, Bomac put the gym on. Did you see the gym on his story? That thing looked like Ronnie Shields' gym. It's a
huge.
It's a warehouse, bro. It's
Interiors?
huge. A
Damn.
pitched warehouse too, with the insulation.
Whose story?
Yo, you're very low. With Bomac story on Instagram.
Bomac story.
Yeah, bro.
Real quick,
that
Ness,
gym is
if you
huge.
could just check for Young Marcus super chat. I don't know if
right.
I couldn't see it on my end.
Yeah, so that gym is huge and they have everything, bro. I thought look, I thought Thurman was the only one they got in that type of dog shape. They got the Jacobs ladder over there too.
Oh, yo, I love that machine, man.
Yeah. There is no Young Marcus super chat here.
All right, 704 had mentioned that on the chat, so I think we got to all of them.
Yep. Well, it's two from.
One from Boston and one from Majimbe.
Okay, you got to Majimbe, Eso Akuni. All right, so yeah, man, that's all the callers. Oh, there go Jay in Colorado. What up?
Chee.
Okay, just listening, no problem. All right, so we out, man. Catch us on the next one. And yeah, man.
Just tonight for the live fight chat.
Yeah, night live fight chat, man. No big. Oh, I never went to Decatur, Georgia. What up? My bad.
Yeah, it's all good, but
Ooh, get off speaker, champ. I know you driving probably, but you sound real bad today.
How about now, Bill?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool, man. Shout out to Pound for Pound #1, Bud Crawford. It's real funny. It's fun actually listening to, callers and y'all try to find fights for Bud. So again, like I said the other day, you can imagine Bud's situation. So that's why he's so cool, calm, and be like, whoever come, we can get it in. I ain't get to speak on the Ryan Garcia shit I had called earlier. I just want to see the fight. I want to see what's gonna happen. I ain't gonna necessarily say who gonna win because Ryan got the speed, but I like a little what's the boy name? Campbell. I like him. He alright. You know what I'm saying? I was watching him in Lomachenko last night. So yeah, man. I just want to see that fight. And tell Jerry Lloyd, give us a name, bro. We need a name, fella. Stop telling us to fight people, because as you know, we trying. So give us.
We giving you two names. Floyd did it. You could get Ennis or Ortiz right now.
Yo, shout out. Super chat from Pterodactyl. He says, "Yo."
We're going to Jay in Colorado again. Jay.
Chee.
Yo, Jay in Colorado. All right. I thought I read a message that he said. Let me see what he just sent one now. I can't unmute. Hang up and call back in, and it probably won't need to unmute. Yep. Oh, no, you're still muted, champ. I don't know, bro. It's right on your screen, though. What are you using? There you go. There you go.
Oh, come on, bro. This fresh meat, bro. Come on, you gotta feed it to Amin. Amin's supposed to be the big dog. You gotta give him a little new guy.
You ain't got no wins yet. You ain't got no wins yet. I gotta fight for you. I gotta fight for you. ECP,
get it. I'm here.
ECP take all the smoke. We got undefeated.
What's his name?
Silverback.
Silverback. Yep, bet. I like that. And what's the rounds and stuff? Like what's the time limit on the rounds?
1 minute round, man. 1 minute round. You only get one round to make it right.
Heavy. I'm coming in heavy then. What's his name again? Silverback.
Zero curse words. Get with the Bat channel so they can give you all the details. We don't want to hear no crybaby stuff on Saturday.
You already know. I'm here. So what's up? Like, am I going first since I'm the new guy or what? Like, last?
Sony's the commissioner. He's gonna fit you on the card. We got to get the confirmation from my A side, Rough House, also known as Silverback. You know what I'm saying? I'm offering you the fight, but I gotta take it to my client. Make sure he wants that. He might want bigger fish.
Just make sure you're here by 10 o'clock Eastern time. Yeah, just make sure you're here. Even if you don't know when you're going, we gotta have all the battlers.
We will have a backup for you if he's not here, but he will be here. My team don't never flake. They never late. We always great.
You gotta serve certain dudes.
Just saying.
Man, them bars coming.
Just
I
saying.
know, right?
I'm saying it's just flow. It's just when I'm around greatness, what I keep telling y'all, I'm around such great fighters at ECP that it's just coming natural. But Jay from Colorado, man, I mean, Silverback is ready. We gonna find out what's good in a few. But that is the last caller. No, it ain't. Huang and the BX don't want to put together a written rap so he can keep saying that we don't want to put him on.
Nah. I don't do written raps, bro. All I do is freestyle. But anyway, I wasn't even calling about that. How y'all doing? I forgot. I don't even know the topic because I just tuned in or whatever. But I just want to know if y'all gonna see that UFC fight on Saturday.
Manuel, ¿qué pasa, papi?
Yeah, my phone. My boy's in the phone next to me. Yeah, y'all gonna see that Jorge Masvidal versus Usman fight this Saturday?
Yo, you out here.
I know
You
Ness
out
is a
here.
UFC fan.
Yo, you about to get your man in trouble. He over there having a full-blown conversation. We hearing out all the details. Then you want to talk about...
I thought I was in La Isla, the way he was talking.
Yeah. Oye, cabrón.
Oye, pero ¿qué te pasa a ti, cabrón?
Oye, él está acá. Él está acá. Echa para acá. Súmate ahí. Yo, so that's it. That's everybody. Keem in Atlanta. I mean, he been told me he just listening, right, Keem? Let me double check. But I think that's it. We out. Can't unmute. That was Jay in Colorado. We goody. Trey said he ain't. Trey, you ain't on, right? You just chatting, it look like. Let me double check. See no Trey. Yeah, we out. Next GTO, Instagram, and Twitter. Catch us on the next one. We went to Amin on this show?
Not on this one.
Yeah, we went to. It was like the first one we went to. I thought
it was the last show.
Okay.
Oh, maybe it was the last
double
show.
Check. I mean, it was we went to you on the show. I mean.
Oh yeah, we did. Remember, because he brought up the point about how I'm so much better.
All right. Well, next GT on Instagram and Twitter. Catch us on the next one. Arrivederci. Peace. Goodbye. Bye-bye.
Add more Mugi on Twitter. Add more Mugi on Instagram. I'm a knockout greatness. Peace.
Champ. Alex _Doomsday _LAINEZ. IG and TikTok. Twitter. Alex_TBV. Till later, champ. So hit that notification bell. And right next to it, there's a triangular bar with some letters on it. I think it reads subscribe. Hit the button. Put a D at the end of that letter.
Yes.
Cheers.
Yes. And help us get to 115 KZ. Let me see where we at. It's driving me crazy, bro. We've lost subscribers. We're at 114,871.
Ain't no love in the heart of the city. Ain't no love in the heart of town.
That's a jam.
Yo, first the thumbs ups don't go up and Mario don't show up. Everybody got a problem with the twist up mustache. Yo, we out. Catch us on the next one.